I'm Mickey Colton.
And I'm Chad Dillon.
And this is
the Utica Rallycross Series.
Brought to you live for the Dead Man's Curve Qualifier event. And Chad, this is going to be an exciting event today.
Yes, it is indeed.
And we have 22 drivers. 10 of them are making a one-off attempt here today. A lot of new drivers in the field as well. And we're going to see which of those 22 will get the 12 spots in the field. It should be an exciting event.
A lot of those drivers have been practicing just for this moment here, so it's going to be a really intense battle. The times are going to be really tightly contested, as we saw last season, because people want to get into the event, to get their name out there, to get back into the series, and show them their stuff.
Yes, we have quite a few rookies here today, but we also have some drivers that are making their return. Drivers like Alex Tanker, Jeffery Finguy, Nick Pericles, who won a race last year.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of drivers that are going to be fighting hard for this event. We are going to be racing on the back straightaway of Dead Man's Curve, so the little loop around and that incredibly difficult ending section of the course.
It is. It's very fast. And first up, we have Sean Angel, which is the man that has finished last place the most this season.
Cody Smart, the first of those rookies that is going to be up there, the people in the one-off. We have a lot of our one-off drivers in the first section of this event. As any names that stand out to you?
A lot of big names. Actually, a big name I actually want to point out is probably going to be Esteban Cortez, because he's had such a full season. I think he's going to really want to make it to the Dead Man's Curve event.
If Todd Coletta won this event last year when we had both championship drivers and the non-championship competitors compete in the event. So Todd Coletta would be one to watch out for this year. James Silverfox also did good last year. He was in the first slide. Todd Benoit going up last. That could be interesting.
Oh, yes, it could. Now, first up is Sean Angel here. Let's see how he can do.
Yep, the young Canadian race car driver, trying his best. This is a new thing for him. He's never been to this racetrack.
Now, this part of the racetrack in Dead Man's Curve is my favorite part. That's why we have it in the qualifier, because, yes, it is not as scary as the first opening jumps, but it's so fast, especially when you get to the final.
No! It's scary for Sean Angel!
Oh, wow!
As he rolls it early on in the course. I don't think you could roll it there.
Wow, and as I was saying, it's through the section, just the stability of your car is so hard to keep it on the ground. You're going fast, you're going really... it's crazy to watch, really.
Some liken it to a bucking bronco as Sean Angel, top of the board, as Cody Smart is on track, and you may notice that's for Benoit Motorsports. Cody Smart actually has a deal, and he makes a little contact there. He needs to qualify for the event and finish top 10 in Dead Man's Curve, and he will be on Benoit Motorsports next year as a second car.
Yeah, the Dirt Devil himself is looking for someone else to, come along with him for the ride.
Yeah, and Cody Smart, a young race car driver, has some dirt track experience on oval dirt tracks. This is a completely different wheelhouse for him, though.
So far, a pretty good run in the tail end of this course here. He almost hits the pylon, but he clips it, but a 36.08, a tremendous time, way better than Sean Angel.
What an aversion there. And next up, it's the doggo, Cole Baker, in car number 26. This is his first attempt on track.
Oh, no!
It might be over already. He saved it.
Oh, man, for his first attempt, he is
I know you're a dog, but they didn't say roll over.
Wow. Wow.
So Cole Baker already off to a bad start in the 26. I doubt this time will make the event.
Oh, man, it's going to be tough as he climbs back up here now. It's tough. That opening jump here, it's just because you have so much speed on there. If you land on the car just right, you're going to flip so easy.
Yeah, and Cole Baker, more of a pavement racer. He's never been in any of these style of cars before. This is literally the first time he's ever sat in that driver's seat. It's almost flipped it again. I guess some drivers might be having some problems over there.
No, it's a tough course. I mean, it's really challenges you, the driver. It's really short, fast, to the point, and that's why it's our qualifier.
As Cole Baker coming to the line, that's going to be a 58.20. If that makes the show, I will be surprised. And next up, back in the cream machine, it's Alex Tanker.
The Tankinator. I don't know.
Yeah. But Alex Tanker, it's been a while since we've seen him. He attempted this race last year, but missed the show.
Yeah.
So he's looking for a little bit of redemption.
Yeah, he's definitely, especially if you've watched the season, this series since the beginning, he's been one of the better names that we've had around. And clips the sidewall there. It's gonna throw him off. That might throw off his whole time.
Yeah, it could hurt him on track. Alex Tanker, in the time we haven't seen him, he's been racing rally cars in Iceland, which I bet that is exciting for him. But looking to make a name for himself here. Second fastest overall, but I think that time can be beat. As next up, one of the countrymen, it's Annie Thomas out of Australia. And we may remember her from Season 2. She attempted this race in Daniel Boyle's number 2 machine, but finished really poorly, wrecked really early on in the event.
Oh, I mean, it was your first time up and you're doing Dead Man's Curve. It's tough for anybody.
I know, it was such a difficult event for her. She missed the show last year. She's going to try and make it this time round.
Oh, we got a lot of speed here coming in the final stretch here. Can she pull it off? A little close to the pylon.
That's the top time.
Wow, a 34.35. That is an impressive time for Annie Thomas.
Yeah, Annie Thomas may have something there. Next up, here comes the cavalry. It's Tyler Faber, car number 28. Let's see what he can do today. Not a lot of experience in this style of race car, but trying out there today at the very least.
Listen, experience, the only way to get experience is to get your name out there, and this is what this is here for. Get these drivers a chance to be able to show their stuff, like I said before.
And makes some heavy contact with that wall, and it's just so hard. You get jostled around on this straightaway.
Oh man, yeah, I know it is tough. I mean, you lose your perception of the entire course is just thrown off, and you just can't even see where you're even driving at some points.
39.14, not too good. We may not have a Tyler, and Tyler show this year, but Caitlin Stringer in car number 16 had that win at Tel Aviv. Struggled last week in Hong Kong. He's gonna struggle here today.
No!
That's tragic.
Man, that win might have been a one-off victory for her. I mean, it might have just been a miraculous thing she pulled.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I was just about to mention, like, they finally got able to get a nameplate for Caitlin Stringer on this car this week. She's been running Matt Dool's name the past couple of weeks. Yeah. But unfortunately, she's gonna not do too well today, as it's going to be a disappointing effort.
Yeah, she's going to finish with a 41.56. That's probably not going to be able to make it into the Dead Man's Curve event.
So we've seen a lot of problems this race so far, so we'll have to see as James Silverfox is going to try and get it done. He was the fastest of the Arena Cross Series drivers last year. I think third fastest overall.
Yeah, but clips the sidewall there, but it's not going to kill him too much just because he's got a lot of nice speed going over the mound there. Now, if he needs to stay straight, that's what the drivers need to do. In this final stretch, you hit the ripples here.
And that's not going to work as he tipped this car over.
But he's still able to go. If he can just finish it out, he might still be able to edge into there, but it might be close.
Yes, James Silverfox has not had a good season this year, and it might end abruptly at this point in the season. Up fifth place overall, but it's kind of on the lower end. If you can run a 34 here, I think you can do a lot better. Ryan Raso, car number 6, making his debut in the series, replacing Nathan Hudson this time around. They actually couldn't get a nameplate on there. They don't really have enough funding to do that.
Yeah, so, I mean, especially with the season that Nathan Hudson have, their budget's very, very tight.
Yes, Jaeger Rally team not having a good year, but Ryan Raso, Canadian rally racer, had a tough crash in the Utica Home Track Series a couple of years back, was injured for a while, went through a heavy recovery, and now he's back in the driver's seat.
He's back. Oh, maybe need to go back into recovery as he hit a lot of momentum going into that pylon.
That's third fastest overall, though. Not too bad for Ryan Raso. As another first-timer on track, Scott Roush in car number 30 for the Patriot Rally team.
Now that is a car if I've ever seen one. Wow.
Yes, I believe he bought this car off of John Cittadino from last season. He drove a similarly painted number 32, which also missed the show, which doesn't bode a good omen for Scott Roush, but...
So far, hits that final little bump, the ripple there. He gets a lot of momentum. Very straight through the final stretch here. Can he pull it off? Doesn't hit a pylon. He should be good.
Ooh, that's a top time, a 34.05. He's never even driven on dirt, I don't think.
Oh my gosh, a 34.05. I don't even know if it's going to be able to be beaten.
Such a great run for Scott Roush in that number 30 machine, the only driver in a 30 numbered car.
Yeah.
As Colin Bartel, who had a great run last week, is on track now.
Has had a great tail end of the series. It just couldn't pull it out because he just was so low in points the beginning half. But hopefully he can make the race event and really show that he's starting to become a really good driver.
Yes, Colin Bartel. I can't recall if you made the show last year. We had a 40-car entry list, and that's gonna put a damper on his hopes this event. Hitting those pylons is so difficult to get by.
40-22. I don't think that's gonna make it either. Next up is Estavas Cortez. Now, I was pointing out before that I was hoping Estavas Cortez would make it into the event. So is he, because he's had such a decent season, a comeback season for him, really, and he would really want to finish it off with racing a Dead Man's Curve.
And here's a bit of trivia. Estavas Cortez has never run Dead Man's Curve.
Yeah.
I don't think he was in the car. Well, hold on. He may have run it in Season 1, but he didn't do very well if he did.
I don't even think he made it for most of the course, really.
So, and that was a completely different layout for Dead Man's Curve that year. So, coming to the line, 33.64 blows Scott Roush out of the water. The Phoenix is risen. And I want to point out with that time, See that little marker on the side there? That shows the guy who's on the bubble, who's currently in 12th place position. That's the driver who's going to get knocked out if Jeffery Finguy can surpass a 58.20. And Jeffery Finguy, the replacinator, not a replacinator this time. He's driving for his own team, Finguy Saitomi Racing. So let's see if he can do well in his own equipment this time.
He is trying to hopefully make a new name for himself in this sport. Here he goes. He does beat it.
It does it. That's 4th place overall. That knocks Cole Baker out of the show, and Caitlin Stringer's on the bubble as Chico, Tyler Kalesa, hopes to make Dead Man's Curve in front of the home crowd.
Exactly. It's been a tough season for him. After last year with the Battle of the Tylers, I mean, he went from that to very, below top 10 finish.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the sting of losing that championship threw him off.
Oh, man, that's going to kill him. Can he just beat Caitlin Stringer's time of 41.56?
It's an easy time to beat, but that was some heavy contact there.
Yeah.
Kalesa's been having a lot of awful luck.
Yeah.
A lot of it he's been driving good. It's just been his luck that's been bad.
And he does with a 38.76 that might be able to hold on for the rest of the season, but it's going to be close.
Neil Evans in car number 17, the Gray Mamba, on track. He's got to beat a 40.22 to knock Colin Bartel out of the show. Neil Evans, though, this is a completely different animal than he's used to.
Yeah, and if he even makes it to the Dead Man's Curve event, it's going to be crazy. I mean, his son has probably been talking to him what he has to do and blah, 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 but it's a hard racetrack to get into.
It's fun to think that Matt Evans, the son, is coaching the father, because Matt Evans has won here before.
Yeah.
So let's see what he can do.
And he can finish it out here with a 35.17, a really good run. He must be coaching him well.
Yeah, a very commendable time for Neil Evans. That knocks Sean Angel to the bubble as William Duncan looks to surpass the Canadian. Now, William Duncan, he's a little uncertain of himself. He's been kind of playing with the idea of maybe he's going to retire after the season.
Yes.
I hope not, because I love William Duncan in the sport. He's such a good driver, but William Duncan's definitely had a very a poor season so far.
It was tough to see him go from so good to so bad really, really fast this season. And he's just hoping to at least make it into Dead Man's Curve. The same as Gustavus Cortez.
He missed this event last year.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and hope for something better. 36.67. Not bad. That is currently up in the upper epsilon.
Yep.
Knocks John Angel out of the show as James Soderflex is on the bubble. Next up, this is an interesting story.
Yeah.
This is Alex Giannatelli. He was signed by Team Motorsports after they met him in Shanghai. He is a pirate. He was kidnapped from a cruise ship as a kid.
Yeah.
Was raised on a pirate ship. Did pirating all around the world. Went to Shanghai. Became a getaway driver for a group of bank robbers. And through a criminal hire program, Team Motorsports has put him in their 24 machine for this event. And I think it was a good decision as Alex Giannatelli, 4th place in his first start.
Wow, that's a good time for him. Next up is little Jojo, Joseph Ernesto.
The other Team Motorsports car.
Yes, and not a good season, a pretty terrible one at that. Hoping to at least just make it the Dead Man's Curve, to at least have a full season and just say he did it.
Plus, considering that Alex Giannatelli, who's never driven one of these cars before, has gotten a 4th place time, I think Joseph Ernesto, who's been since season 2, should make it in.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think that hitting that sidewall there might not be able to knock out Tyler Faber.
Yep, let's see what he can do. It's going to be Faber or Ernesto.
Oh, and he does.
Tyler Faber out of the show, and look who's on the bubble. It's Tyler Kalesa.
Wow.
That is a shame, considering he won this event last year, as Nick Pericles is back on track. Your Elkhorn Pike winner from season 3, as things haven't been going too well for the Red Viper Racing team financially.
Yeah, no, it was tough. They wanted to bring the driver back this season, but it was too tough with the funding. But I'm glad to see that they're back.
Yep, they're in this number 22 machine, which is a very interestingly colored machine. I think they bought it off Robert Piet from last year.
Woo! Look at the speed coming in the final stretch here.
Yeah, he's zippy.
Wow.
Car number 22, 4th place overall at 34.88. And that's going to put Alex Tanker on the bubble. Next, Tyler Kalesa out of the show.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. So, next up on track here is Conrad Wilson. Double the S's, double the successes. Had a really successful run last week. Runner-up finish to Ray Davis.
Hopefully to show some promise, maybe for next season if he comes back. If maybe he's starting to turn around and finally find his own as a driver.
And you have to remember, he is a rookie. We give these drivers a lot of slack for certain things, but this man's only driven this car. This is going to be his 10th time. And speaking of time, he sets a blistering pace, a 33.15. That's going to safely make the show. knocks Tanker out, and puts William Duncan on the bubble as Johnny Gardner's in car
Wow,
number 21.
Michael Aurelio's on the sidelines going nuts. Freaking out over Conrad's time.
They're going to have both Aurelio cars in the show.
He almost broke 33.
That is insane. Unbelievable. As Johnny Gardner in car number 21, not much of a, he's more of a paved track racer. We have a lot of drivers that don't really have experience in this style of racing. But
so far, a pretty good time for him, a 35.03.
35.03. That will make the show. Good job for him. That's going to put Joseph Ernesto on the bubble as we have our final driver of the evening. It's Tyler Benoit, the Dirt Devil.
Yes, he has to beat a 36.65, which actually is a pretty commendable time, so it's going to be tough for him to dethrone him, but we'll see what happens.
Basically, it's going to be, does Team Motorsports get both cars in the show, or does Benoit Motorsports get both cars in the show?
Yeah, because Cody Smart is pretty much in, so we'll see how he can do. The Dirt Devil loves this kind of driving. So far, pretty smooth.
Comes down to this final straightaway. What can he do?
Oh, this was the pylon.
He's in!
Wow,
third fastest overall. Great job for Tyler Benoit.
Can we have Conrad Wilson winning the event with a 33.15, followed by Esteves Cortez and Tyler Benoit. Those are some great times.
How about Scott Rouse, the highest placing of those free agent one-off drivers? Annie Thomas will get a second crack at Dead Man's Curve, followed by Nick Pericles, Johnny Gardner, and Alex Gianatelli. Just a mob of new guys coming in. Neil Evans in 9th place, respectable time for him. And Jeffery Finguy, the replacement, rounds out the top 10. He'll get a shot at Dead Man's Curve for the main event.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of new drivers in the final event here. It's going to be a great race.
Yeah, some of these drivers are going to be in for a ride. And that is just an insane level thing. I'm just so surprised by some of them. And Cody Smart and Ryan Raso are going to both make the show. So the 6th machine makes it in without Nathan Hudson, but Ryan Raso,
look at the ones that didn't cut it. You got William Duncan, Joseph Ernesto. I mean, Tyler Kless is probably the big name out of all of them that didn't make it to the show.
Colin Bartel really strong. A lot of your season regulars missed this show today. We had 7 of the new guys that came in for this one race make the show out of our 12-car field. That makes it
it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy to think about. I mean, you went from... You look at all these drivers, too. And I love seeing the rookies replace the veterans. And it's really fun to see. Kaylin Stringer not having a good run after that one win she had at Tel Aviv. And then followed by Cole Baker,
who just kind of played dead on the course today. So that was a pretty upsetting run for him. But, you know, we had such a good race today. A lot of really solid runs. But it will pale in comparison to Dead Man's Curve.
Yes.
The main event. 20 drivers. 8 of them are running for a championship in this final event. It feels like season 1.
You know, it's not. Yeah, well, even season 1, there wasn't that many people going for it. I mean, it was still a between only 2-3 battle. This is probably the largest points battle for the championship we've had since Rallycross has started.
We have a couple of long shots in there, but it should be a solid event. We hope that you will join us tomorrow for the Dead Man's Curve event. It should be a great event, and you better get yourself some popcorn because it's going to be a long event.
Now, we have to point out, though, that they did do some modifications, but we won't tell you yet. You will see it when we get to there.
Yes, suckers, you got to watch the next race.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from us here at the Utica Rallycross Series, we hope to see you there.
At Dead Man's Curve.